Halt your scrolling this very second, because what I am about to disclose will transform the way you perceive yourself forever. If you are a mature man and you believe your prime years are behind you, think again. Most men squander their lives pursuing youth, attempting to impress, trying to appear younger than they are, and they fail because they have completely misread what makes a man truly captivating. Today, I am going to expose 8 indicators that instantly prove you are a handsome older man. And I pledge this is not advice you have ever encountered before. This is not about wardrobe tips, fitness shortcuts, or gimmicks. This is about something far more profound, something that commands focus, respect, and interest without you ever having to utter a single word. By the conclusion of this video, you are going to realize that age is not your adversary, it is your benefit. You are going to uncover the hidden forces that make women and men take notice of you in a busy room. The qualities that make you charismatic, even if you have never thought of yourself as good-looking. And the secret traits that younger men spend a lifetime trying to simulate. Regarding the masculine energy women notice instantly, what I am about to say will shock you. Some of it will make you feel uneasy, because it is the kind of reality most men are too hesitant to hear. But that is exactly why you need to remain until the end, if you are prepared to see yourself in a way the world has never permitted you to grasp what real attractiveness looks like in a mature man, and to finally utilize it in your life. Then do not click away. Every word, every sign, every observation in this video is a total shift. By the time we finish, you won't just view yourself the same way. You will feel it, project it, and possess it. Let's start with something most men never truly understand. Allure is not a number. It is not a shadow in a mirror, and it certainly is not gauged by how many remarks you get from strangers. The first and most influential sign that an older man is genuinely striking lies in his poise, his presence, and the way he moves through the world without asking for permission. This is not about vanity. It is about a quiet, undeniable pull that commands attention even in total silence. Think about the contrast between a young man trying too hard to impress and a mature man who simply exists with conviction. One is loud, anxious, and fleeting. The other is composed, intentional, and enduring. There is a power in self-assurance that outshines youth, physique, and even standard definitions of beauty. Confidence in this sense is not a facade. It is developed through years of experience, triumph, failure, and contemplation. It is born from the realization that life will throw obstacles at you, that people will harbor doubts, and that the world rarely gives permission or applause for your existence. Yet, a man who has traveled this road without losing his character learns to trust himself, his judgment, and his gut feelings. This trust beams outward. People sense it, women recognize it, and it is infinitely more engaging than a sharp jawline or a modern haircut. It is the unseen energy that turns heads without a single word. Presence then is the natural byproduct of confidence. To be present is to exist fully in the current moment, aware of your surroundings, aware of yourself, aware of the energy you contribute to a room. When you enter a space, people feel it. They cannot explain it, but they are drawn to it. A man with presence does not need to take over conversations or perform for approval. His energy, calm and rooted, occupies the space, and others naturally show respect. Presence is grown through mindfulness, through watching the world without constant distraction, through mastering the subtle skill of being noticed without forcing it. What most older men fail to realize is that presence and confidence are inseparable. Confidence without presence is arrogance. Presence without confidence is doubt wearing a mask. When the two exist together, something remarkable occurs. You no longer battle for attention. You naturally attract it. You no longer hunt for validation from outside sources. The world provides it unasked because your very being signals something deep. You are comfortable in yourself, and you are not to be ignored. This is the kind of influence that cannot be bought, inherited, or mimicked. Now consider the psychology behind this. Humans are wired to respond to certainty in a frantic world where people constantly seek reassurance. A man who moves through life with steady composure stands out. His thoughts are clear, his intentions are deliberate, and his movements are controlled. This creates a subtle but potent emotional signal. He is in charge, he is capable, and he can be trusted. This is not surface-level charm. This is a primal response. People are drawn to those who show stability and grit. And nothing says this more clearly than a man who does not need to prove his worth. But let's be clear, this is not a sudden shift. Developing confidence and presence takes intentional effort. It begins with looking inward, understanding your identity, your standards, and what you will no longer tolerate in your life. It takes the grit to live by your principles, even when the world challenges them. It demands that you welcome your age, your history, and your journey, rather than viewing them as flaws. The older man who has achieved this radiates a genuineness and authenticity that is magnetic in a way that no cosmetic or trend can ever match. Part of the emotional control that younger men usually lack, this confidence also comes from emotional mastery. A handsome older man does not act on a whim. He does not try to hide his insecurities with jokes, status, or material items. He has discovered that real strength lives in self-restraint, in calculated moves, and in the capacity to respond rather than react. This does not make him distant. It makes him powerful. People, and specifically women, pick up on this emotional maturity. It signals safety, reliability, and inner power. Traits that go beyond shallow attraction and create a deep, lasting connection. Finally, consider the deeper meaning of confidence and presence. To move through life with assurance is to face reality without trembling. It is to accept that years pass, that youth goes, that situations are unpredictable, yet your essence stays strong. It is a state of liberty, a release from the need for praise, the dread of being turned away, and the stress of comparison. And in this freedom, a man finds a type of beauty that no mirror can capture, no remark can strengthen, and no outside validation can improve. It is beauty grounded in self-ownership, wisdom, and dignity. So, if you remember one thing from this, let it be this. Being a handsome older man is not about chasing youth, grooming excessively, or trying to appear younger than your years. It is about growing confidence, mastering presence, and owning yourself fully in every moment. Walk into a room with steady composure, speak with intention, move with purpose. Trust that your life, your history, and your character say far more than any face ever could. When you do this, you do not need to ask if you are attractive. The world will confirm it quietly but unmistakably every single day. Remember this, confidence is not loud. Presence is not forced, and true attractiveness is not conditional. It is earned through self-mastery, emotional maturity, and an unwavering commitment to yourself. Live your life with the style and grooming details that lift your appeal like this, and not only will you be seen as handsome, you will be felt as unforgettable. The second sign that marks a truly attractive older man is his insight, his emotional intelligence, and his steady sense of mission. While the world around us often fixates on the surface, these traits work on a magnetic level. They are invisible, yet they are felt by everyone who crosses your path. You see, youth can impress, beauty can attract, but it is wisdom and emotional mastery that hold respect and command attention. A man who has lived, who has seen life in its peaks and valleys, carries with him a weight of authority that cannot be faked. And this authority is inherently alluring. Wisdom is not measured by the number of books you have read, nor by the amount of data you can recite. True wisdom is the ability to grasp life, people, and yourself with clarity. It is the capacity to see patterns where others see chaos, to predict reactions, not because you control them, but because you understand the basic nature of human behavior. A handsome older man knows that people are layered, that situations are rarely simple, and that the world is full of contradictions. Yet he navigates it all with a clear head. There is a power in this understanding that goes far beyond the surface. It draws people to you without effort because they sense, even if subconsciously, that you are not easily rattled, that your mind is grounded, and that your insight is reliable. Closely linked to wisdom is emotional intelligence. Many men confuse confidence with noise and experience with authority. But emotional intelligence is what separates those who are merely noticed from those who are deeply respected and desired. An older man who possesses emotional intelligence understands his own feelings fully. He does not bury them, but he also does not let them drive the car. He recognizes when to speak and when to listen, when to act and when to wait. He picks up the emotions of others with clarity, not to manipulate, but to respond with empathy and intelligence. How experience makes you attractive without trying. This ability creates a magnetic presence that attracts people naturally because they feel safe, understood, and inspired in his presence. Women especially are drawn to a man who can navigate the emotional world with ease, who can handle pressure with elegance, and who can talk deeply without playing games or posturing. Purpose is the third pillar that strengthens this magnetic appeal. Many men lose themselves in routine, in survival, or in the pursuit of fleeting pleasures. But the older man who is genuinely attractive is fueled by something greater than momentary satisfaction. He has a clear understanding of his mission in life, what he wants to achieve, why he exists, and how he intends to leave a mark. Purpose is visible in the way he moves, the choices he makes, and the intensity with which he approaches each day. A man with a mission does not rely on outside validation because his self-worth is tied to his actions and his principles, not to the fleeting opinions of others. This kind of clarity is magnetic. It signals to the world that he is not a passive participant in life, but a force of intentional action, and that is profoundly alluring. Let's pause and consider the psychological depth of these qualities. Humans are wired to follow competence, reliability, and stability. In a world of uncertainty, people move toward those who show mastery over themselves and their environment. A man who is emotionally mature and purpose-driven communicates that he is someone who can be trusted, someone who can handle challenges without collapsing, and someone whose life is aligned with meaning rather than chaos. This alignment is more attractive than any physical feature because it promises security, understanding, and shared strength. But none of this comes without intentional growth. Wisdom, emotional intelligence, and purpose are cultivated over time. They require reflection on one's experiences, both successes and failures, and the humility to learn from them. They require emotional honesty, the courage to face your fears, your regrets, and your weaknesses without denial. And they require deliberate action to live consistently according to your values, to invest in relationships that matter, and to pursue goals that resonate with your deeper sense of meaning. This is not easy and it is not fast, but the rewards are profound. When your conversational energy matters more than looks, these qualities radiate outward in subtle ways. The tone of your voice, the calm in your eyes, the clarity in your decisions. People feel it, and it shapes how they see you long before they notice the superficial. Moreover, emotional intelligence and purpose are deeply intertwined. A man who understands himself emotionally is better equipped to pursue his goals without distraction, to lead with clarity rather than ego, and to inspire others rather than intimidate them. His decisions are not impulsive or reactive. They are intentional and measured. And this intentionality is attractive because it signals that he is reliable, grounded, and aligned with a higher vision. Women and people in general are instinctively drawn to this kind of energy because it promises depth, stability, and connection. It is a type of power that is quiet but absolute, irresistible yet unassuming. Finally, consider the philosophical depth of these qualities. Life does not reward beauty or youth forever. It rewards understanding, resilience, and alignment with purpose. The older man who embodies wisdom, emotional intelligence, and purpose has moved past superficial standards. He understands that true attractiveness is not a function of looks or charm. It is a reflection of the life he has lived, the lessons he has learned, and the integrity with which he navigates the world. This is the kind of presence that does not fade with age. It only grows stronger and more compelling. So if you take one lesson from this segment, let it be this. Your attractiveness as an older man is inseparable from your wisdom, your emotional intelligence, and your sense of mission. Cultivate them relentlessly. Reflect on your history, master your emotions, and define your mission. Walk through life with clarity and intentionality. When you do not need to hunt for validation or impress anyone. Your life, your understanding, and your energy will communicate to the world that you are a man worth noticing, remembering, and admiring. Remember this: attractiveness is not in the face, it is in the mind. It is not in the youth, it is in the depth of your experience. And it is not fleeting, it is enduring, growing, and transformative. Cultivate it, honor it, and let it define the man you have become. The third and perhaps most profound sign that you are a handsome older man is your authenticity and self-respect. Everything we've discussed so far, confidence, presence, social dominance without aggression, wisdom, emotional intelligence, purpose, leads inevitably to this. The older man who is truly magnetic is the one who has stopped performing for others and has started living for himself. He does not offer excuses for his choices, his age, or the life he has led. He does not shrink to fit someone else's expectations, nor does he compromise his values to gain approval. Authenticity is a rare quality in a world full of pretense, and it is inherently attractive. Being authentic is not merely about being yourself in the casual sense. It is about embracing every part of who you are. The history, the flaws, the triumphs, the scars, and carrying them with quiet dignity. It is about recognizing that your age, your journey, and even your imperfections are not weaknesses. They are the proof of a life fully lived. When a man embodies this, it shows in subtle but unmistakable ways, in the way he walks, the calm in his voice, the steadiness of his gaze. People sense it immediately. Women especially are drawn to authenticity because it signals emotional safety and integrity. There is no pretense, no hidden agenda, no need to guess who this man really is. What you see is what you get, and that transparency is magnetic. Self-respect is the other side of this coin. A handsome older man does not allow others to define his worth. He maintains boundaries. He chooses carefully what and whom he allows into his life, and he honors himself in every decision. This is not arrogance. It is a refusal to compromise one's integrity. It is the understanding that how you treat yourself sets the standard for how others will treat you. When a man carries himself with this level of respect, it communicates strength, stability, and value without the need for words. People are drawn to it because it reflects a man who has mastered himself and in doing so commands admiration. Consider the psychology behind authenticity and self-respect. Human beings are subconsciously attuned to honesty and integrity. We respond to those who are secure in themselves because they provide a sense of stability in a chaotic world. Conversely, pretense, neediness, and overcompensation create tension, confusion, and unease. A man who has embraced authenticity radiates calm, reliability, and trustworthiness. He does not seek validation through appearances, status, or superficial charm because he knows that his value comes from within. That certainty, that inner security, is one of the most attractive qualities a man can possess. But embracing authenticity requires courage. Society constantly pressures men to conform, to chase youth, to perform in ways that are often shallow or superficial. To resist these pressures and stand firm in your truth is a radical act. It requires the discipline,